Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Genshin Impact. We are in the second half of 2.1, so that is fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the end of the day. Had a very long day, so here we are. Forgive me. Oh god, I apologize. I look sweaty, gross, just exercised, have to get in the shower, would like to rest for the rest of the day. But alas, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, ready to test out some characters, ready to see if Kokomi is a sacrifice, or if she is essentially geared to the teeth because people don't want her. People don't want another healer, people have enough healers as is, and also people have a general Barbara who is pretty good in terms of just healing or healing your full team. But people are memeing and saying Kokomi is, of course, the 5-star Barbara, but let's see if that is what it is. Regardless, okay, alright, they did stack the banner. I mean, yes, but I would also say no. Shincho, one of the best 4-stars, or just characters in the game, if you're just struggling with the game in terms of damage output, he can save you big time. And the more constellations you have, the more insane he gets. He's one of the few characters that really pops off. Now, Bido is also really good, but not like Shincho. The reason what separates them is that Shincho gets crazy when you unlock his artifacts, like 10xing his damage, whereas Bido, when you unlock Constellation 2, you kind of max out her usefulness in terms of Constellation. Kind of. You do get shields and stuff like that that's more support-based, but Shincho just has it all, essentially. But Bido's not a bad character to have, especially if you want more damage. But she doesn't work with Ball, so take that into consideration. She may not work with upcoming characters, and that's why people didn't like what that happened with Ball. It essentially makes it like, oh, well, is Shincho that good? Because it may not work with other characters, which it should. So is it really that good to invest in him if upcoming characters can't be used by them, by your beloved 5-stars? Anywho, we got Rosaria. Rosaria is kind of a mixed bag. I think with Constellation she becomes significantly good. But the problem that she has is she has a roaming alt. She has a stagnant alt. So she puts down a damage field and it's kind of small. It's a small damage over time effect, but it does give you essentially more crit rates, which is good. I just don't know if it's so good to not just bet on like a Shengling and just output shit tons of damage that's constantly around you. It's fire, so it's hitting hard as shit. But it's also she's cryo, so it's a melt. But basically, what I'm saying is the banner's good, but it's not like just wish on it. And Shincho is the must-have there. If Diona, Bennett, Sucrose to some extent, fucking anyone else, if they were there, then I'd be like, yes, absolutely. If there's an upcoming fire character that we'll talk about when it happens. Yes. Also, the WEF banner, it's awful. Don't do it. Don't do it. Even the 4-stars are awful. I have so many of these fire spears, by the way. Disgust me. I know, I look disgusting as well. It's all coming full circle, baby. Also, boom! Progress on the Primo Gems. Looking pretty stacked. Can't wait for potentially Ganyu, if the rumors are to be believed, but that's just rumors. Xbox, parent, friend, cousin, info. Needless to say, nonsense. Don't, well, maybe think about it. Maybe if it makes sense to you, then yeah. If it doesn't, lies. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Kokomi. So we talked about her in previous other videos, but now can actually see what she's all about. People were saying that her aesthetic is on cloud 9. I don't get it. I don't mean to be this way, but I don't get it. She looks cool, but it's just a lot of the same blonde. She just seems like she blends into just about everything. Even her face is not like Hu Tao, who has a bunch of crazy shit and all that. Anyways, but alas, she is a catalyst user who actually attacks faster than I thought. Yeah, she attacks. She looked like she attacked very slow, but no, she. In fact, I feel like that's changed. Did they change her quick attack? Because Jesus Christ, that happens quite quickly. Anyways, then we do a charge attack. Boom! Charge attack palms up, basically flies out really fast too. Yeah, you can easily combo that. That's fantastic. We also have this thing. Boom! This beautiful little squid thing is going to heal the shit at you, as well as deal pyro damage in seemingly a pretty big radius. It's about here. Oh, maybe even more than that. You see this little twinkly, so it looks like it actually is pretty crazy radius actually. But as is most things, it's a jellyfish pet, but in most cases it's just a turret. It's just a stamp down on the ground. It will not follow or track or go towards enemies, which is a damn shame. but is what it is. Heals you, does pyro damage, and all that good stuff. I don't think it heals the entire team, so take that into consideration. It heals whoever your active character is, but her alt, which is her raiment, does. So when you have her raiment or activate her alt, she's going to do a burst of hydro damage, and also this is also the damage is gonna be based on her HP, which is really cool. So you're gonna be building a tanky ass character that also can do decent amount of damage. But anyways, whilst your garment or raiment, sorry, is activated, you can actually heal your allies, which is great. Very similar to Barbara, where you do some damage, you heal your whole team, not just one character, which makes her pretty damn good in terms of healing. The only thing that may scale Kokomi up is if she can not only heal but hit hard as shit, so that it actually is viable as her being like a sub DPS that just happens to also heal the shit at you. But I don't know if we're gonna get that. But regardless, let me see. So the thing that I speculated, and I'm not sure if this is true, but I speculated that Kokomi was going to drastically scale up HP as you level up. So like same how Hu Tao, essentially the more you leveled up her talent, the less you needed of HP. I thought it was going to be different, where the more HP you have for Kokomi, the more damage or the more talent ascension you have in her alt or her E, the more HP you're going to be able to utilize more and more and more, which potentially would scale up to her to do a bunch of damage. Regardless, this scales off HP. As you can see, level 8 looks like it scales off 10% of your HP. Thought it'd be a little higher. Not sure if I'm correct in my assumption that we made. This one looks, honestly, I can't tell. I can't tell just by the numbers, so no, forgive me. So similar to Official, when you activate, when you have your jellyfish on the field, you activate your alt, it'll reset the duration of your jellyfish, which seems a little weird because your jellyfish comes back when it's done. Like, it doesn't seem like it's out for a long time. Yeah, it seems like there's like 6 seconds of downtime, but it doesn't really feel that way. That could just be me, my crazy head. Weird. Okay, so they're also trying to get you to build healing bonus. Odd. So there's kind of like, seems like there's multiple ways to crack this egg. Regardless, decreases the stamina consumption for all party members when swimming. Cool. Also, she can walk on water. So that's something that she can just do. And this is the big pooba. Kokomi does 25% extra healing bonus at a decrease of 100% crit rate. What? Maybe that's why Rosaria's on her banner, although Rosaria can't give you 100% crit rate. What is happening? Anyway, artifact set they gave her, of course, is the, I think they're trying to get her to hit hard, basically. But after using your elemental skill, which is your E, you're going to be able to do more attack damage and charge damage. That's pretty fantastic. Also more hydro damage, so that's fun too. And they gave her iconic weapon. Damage goes up based on your HP, which you're going to be building for her anyway. After using your elemental burst, you get more energy, able to basically keep 100% uptime on your raiment without having to invest in a shit ton of energy recharge. Go team. And as of her base stats, they gave her a shit ton of, it's weird that they gave her even any crit rate, because they gave her like a good bit, 20 something, that could all go into any other thing, but regardless, I guess this is more of a realistic perception of her. But yeah, we got pretty weird stats. Crit damage isn't pointless, so her base should be insane. Her attack doesn't look as like cracked as I was expecting it to be, but maybe it's because her HP... Yeah, 18k. Yeah, her HP did get a big buff. So I think they're running a bunch of HP on her. And of course, we got a Hydro bonus, because she, I think, ascends with Hydro as well. But ladies and gentlemen, enough of my dumb ass talking a bunch of nonsense. Let's see if she feels perfect, because she damn well better if she's a healer, or she's going to be a sub DPS who can also heal the shit you. Let's see. Or a secondary DPS. Anyways, we're just going to do this. Get our particles going. We're going to pop out our jellyfish. Boba's vaporizing people. Yeah, 1,000, 2,000. Golly, gee willikers. Maybe I need my alt in order to do anything, but let's wait to synergize it with this. Some of this, some of this, one of these, some of the raiment. All right, come on, baby, show me that damage. 7k. I mean, we're healing our team that isn't weak in general, and it rarely gets weak because, you know, you only really play one character in the game, and then you activate other abilities and whatnot. Yeah. Activate Raymond again. Does that do burst damage? Oh, it's a really tight radius, yeah? I mean, maybe she's built like shit. Also, man, my beard looks scratchy. Listen, man, it's been a long day. I was in the wind pulling off decals off of... Don't worry about it. Anyways, she feels real not good. Also, why can't she float? Like, right here, she's hovering and shit, doing spinnies. Why can't we, like, just fucking creepy-ass ghost creeping on an old cemetery? You know what I mean? Why not one of those? Anyways. Okay, so now we're well, no, not juiced up, but it's best what we got. Okay, let's just fucking do it. Anyways, this fucking Lisa, chain detonate things. Let's do one of these. And one of these. I mean, I think this is just an argument for Kaya and now Shang Ling being amazing. Not so much, you know, you. Although I mean. I don't know, man. I thought, like, the only way to make this make sense is to be like, she just does good damage on a base. Like, she can be a secondary DPS, but also she can heal shit at you. So it's not just like, hey, we're gonna support you with one of these. Brrr. I'm missing stuff. I feel like she might have been a sacrifice, boys. I wasn't sure about it. I thought maybe they would try to not do that. But I think she's a lamb made for the slaughter, frankly. Could be absolutely wrong. Also, why is there a pearl right by... I don't want to talk about it. Anyways, regardless, where is it? Okay, so potentially... whales and like big boy spenders could get her HP up to maybe more. We can't see exactly what it is, and I don't know. I haven't built. No one's built enough HP characters to know like how much this is in the grand scheme of things. So I am just kind of like, am I missing something? Because she feels like not worth it. Anyways, I mean, here it's not bad. No, it's bad. It's worse than Yoimiya. So at least there's that, guys. For those of you who went for Yoimiya, like your boy, hey, you know, feels bad. Feels bad. I don't know. This is rough. I was really thinking that because I thought they had to stack the decks, or else what's the fucking point? You know? I mean, that looks cool. Where like the Kaya, she's like fucking bouncing up and down kind of thing. Look at that, what about charge attack? Charge attack does 2,000. I think that's, all right, she doesn't crit, so like it's not like I'm like trying to see the max capacity. It looks rough. It looks like Yoimiya, absolute sacrifice. Maybe possibly because a waifu in the future is coming down the pipeline, and boy oh boy, does that banner look like incredible. Well, if, who knows, I don't know, who knows, but what I do know, not great. But what is great, and what might be the bait, is these other characters. Hopefully the Rosaria, hopefully watch them build these characters significantly better than they built her. But usually they like to like build characters to 80% of their max capacity, kinda, in the training arena, so that people know like, oh, there's still some more for you to invest in. Like Ball didn't have the right set and all of these things, but she still felt good in the training arena. Kokomi doesn't feel good in the training arena, and they had a 5-star weapon on her, talent's level 8, the seemingly right set, so like damage set, and it looked like a lot of HP. I don't know, it just seems like weird. Also, really, they didn't give us any other characters. Why? What? She's a fucking support DPS. What is your problem? Why? What? Anyways, Rosaria is okay. She's pretty good if you get constellations. I wish I would have got constellations on her. But generally speaking, I feel like she did kind of, I mean, I don't know, like if you're I tend to think you'll get a more crit rate, essentially. So one of the things she does is she gives crit rate when she does this, when she activates this. I think when you just activate her ult, she shares crit rate with the team, which is fantastic. But when you build a shit ton of crit rate, it doesn't really build a shit ton of damage for her ult. And you're like, if you even were to take into consideration the crit rate that she's giving, unless you have 0 crit rate, it still wouldn't be enough to replace like a Shangling who's fully built with even moderate crit rate, spinning her fire sword around. Also, you get Goba in on top of that, and also it weakens enemies to fire and shit and all that. So Rosaria is in a weird place, generally speaking. I don't think she's bad. I think you have constellations for her. She gets significantly better, but I don't know if she'll... Yeah, like even with constellations, I don't know if she'd beat Xiangling. But also, one of the problems with her is that like you would, if you're just playing enough of the game, you'll eventually get good artifacts. I know it'll take a long time and fate may not be on your side, but it'll happen eventually. And then you'll get good artifacts and you won't need an abundance of crit rate. And now you'll have a character that you have given a shit ton of crit rate for when you could have just invested those like resin runs on your character that is going to do damage on a base that you can throw anywhere that isn't needing to be this weird supplementary thing. Bino, on the other hand, is very, very good, but she is one of those characters that you need, well, you don't need, but it helps greatly to have two things. Her constellations. I know I said they didn't matter, I just say they don't scale as hard as like Xinqiu's, but Xinqiu also just is insane if you get one copy of him. Regardless, this right here, the second constellation, your lightning jumps at 2 targets. This makes it actually viable and starts bridging the incredible gap between her and Xinqiu, which is support DPSs, which just give you overall more damage, which is fantastic. But one of the things that she gives, I think, more than Xinqiu is this right here. The first constellation, actually, yeah. That's why I said you need the first 2. She basically gives you a shield based on her HP. So I've seen some builds which didn't look terrible, which is basically a Bido who has a shit ton of HP, person built with a Bido with a shit ton of HP, and they basically just use her as a shield and an electro proc for their Eula or whoever. And they build it with energy recharge, of course, with a weapon like a sacrificial sword, so she can get a ton of particles, all that stuff. But the point, the thing that makes her separate from Xinqiu is this: you get 15% weakness to electro. That's nothing compared to Xinqiu, who gets an extra 3 swords and also just does more damage with those swords. It's just silly. Anywho, yeah, but Bido looks fantastic. She's one of the most aesthetically wonderful characters in the game. Also, her combat is not just a support. That's maybe why she's scaled differently. It's because you're also supposed to do things like this. Wait for it. It took a millennia to do that, and it didn't kill you. But if you invested it enough, it might. It might. We're going to activate Super Conduct and maybe see a little bit more. I don't think they have her build particularly well, but they always give her level 8 talents, which should help in some regards, so... Yeeh. Come on, buddy! They even get... Oh, no, they gave you the fucking royal sword. Okay, they may have just... This, I don't know, man, you would have thought Mahoyo would have been like, but let's give them a little bit. But it seems like even these characters are kind of undercooked. Anyways, so now that we have this, we're going to switch to Kaya, because Kaya can attack much more faster than Bido, keeping her thing on 100% uptime, which is fantastic. But yes, we have those dragons. Also, her ult does last a pretty long time. I don't think it's 100% uptime, but it's probably close. Let's see, what is she at? I know it's pretty close to 100% uptime. Look at this, let us go. Boom!
Freeze.
All I'm gonna say, Xinqiu wouldn't have this problem. Okay, but again, that's their fault. Like, Bido's not built properly in this world. She can't hit for like 8k like bang, or like 12k if you've invested enough. Xinqiu though can hit for like that with on a shit build. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm not sure about it. Anyways, yeah, again, for people saying like the banner was so fucking stacked, it's okay. it's not like it. It's not, if Bennett or Diona was there, sure. If Sara, maybe. If Xiangling is now huge, Bido is a good one too. I would say Xiangling bridges the gap a little bit more just because she's a electro or fire element and all that stuff. Anywho, also her ult lasts such a long time. Anyways, also it's not hindered by the fact that you need to attack. It's just going all the time and within mass radius, so it hits more AOE than that. Anyways, sorry. Xinqiu, my boy. Even if they have you absolutely fucking not built at all, they gave you Favonius, didn't they? Yeah, that's my build. That's my budget-ass build. Which, by the way, you do not need virtually anything to make Xinqiu absolutely amazing. You do not need a sacrificial sword, especially with the new artifact set where you're building energy recharge anyway. You're okay. Now, yes, he won't be dealing like fucking billions of damage, but he'll be doing enough to get you significantly by and be in a good place for a very long time. Anyways, I'm also like this, boom. Also, you can almost back-to-back his ult. It's got a little bit of downtime, but it feels relatively like nothing. And yeah, like even, like we're not even like detonating a Vaporize. If they had any sort of like fire character here with Xinqiu, it would be insane. But we have Freeze, which is more of a CC kind of situation. But even still, Like this, guys, this banner seems like the most sacrificial banner we've ever had in Genshin Impact, my guy. It seems rough. Also, if you happen to like my ramblings or me hastily making this video, even though I should have just made it tomorrow, then I appreciate it's part of the channel. Anyways. But ladies and gentlemen, this was rough. Okay, Kokomi had no teeth. She's a grandma up in here. Also, all of these other characters are very underdeveloped. Like Shincho is not hitting for what he would normally hit for. Baido is not even close. Rosaria, why the fuck do you just have Rosaria in there? It's like there's like Rosaria is the main DPS. The fuck she is. The fuck she is. And if she can be, it's like seems like a lot of work. But anyways, sure, I guess. Regardless, some primos for the road. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, there are rumblings, like I've been saying this whole week, of potentially, well, anything's better than this banner, frankly, but there might be a certain year anniversary, start of 2.2 banner that seems real good. So, this is giving everybody a saving period. Now, the question is, why? For love of God, why would MiHoYo do this? Like, Jesus. I think it might be because analytically and statistically and etc., it's really good in terms of seeing like the bars go up. So for a long time with Genshin, the bars have been going up and then down, 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 down. But then recently with Ball and Sara, banner shot right back up again because you had a waifu and also a really good banner. So I feel like MiHoYo is now aiming that to be the thing, is like, okay, well, if we have these high value characters, maybe we shouldn't do what we did with Ganyu and like make her great, but then fucking tank the 4 stars. So that way it's like, we'll fucking see. And instead they're like, why are we trying to lessen the gain? Like, we want people to spend, so theoretically we should make the best banner possible so it's a no-brainer, so people feel like if they don't spend, then they're missing out, and then they'll be like, alright, fuck, fine, I just got my like Inazuma Genesis Crystal top-ups, whatever it's called, I'll spend them now. I feel like I have to, like, so I think that might be their strategy now, is give people kind of like a grace period. But also I think just seeing like if you see a bar that tanks, but then you see a bar that's 10 times its size in scale, it kind of does no one looks at the small bar. People look at like, it's still on the way up. So I feel like that might be the play. But who knows? This would be just speculating random nonsense. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you love to Kokomi, I'm not coming for your wife, my friends. I'm sure there's people out there who know exactly how to build her to get the most out of her. But yeah, also people are saying that there's going to be a renaissance of healers. But if you have a healer like Diona or a healer like Bennett, then those people heal a lot and do more. But yeah, which is why I thought like Kokomi would be the first healer plus a massive DPS. She might be with enough investment, but at least from the looking from the outside in, she seems like she's good for maybe whales and people who are willing to spend in abundance and maybe get her constellations. By the way, her constellations didn't look like they completely changed her game. One of the things that everyone thought, to some extent I think, or like a good way for them to patch Kokomi, is for you to give the raiment to other people. That would have made her incredibly viable. That's really unique and awesome. Imagine Razor fucking with and a raiment. That'd be awesome and weird, but cool. But no, people thought that maybe in her constellations that could have happened. No dice, at least as far as I know. I looked at it at some point on a place that shall not be named. Anyways, but ladies and gentlemen, I look sweaty, gross, and I'm tired. Not as tired as Shincho holding up this banner. Okay, but ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. If you are going for Kokomi, you're a psychopath. You're a psychopath, but I love you, and I wish you luck, my friend. We need crazy people like you in this world. But maybe that's also why maybe you should just go for one of them and not like a ton of constellations. And maybe skip her weapon, because it seems like it's kind of okay. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you kindly for your time, and goodbye.